Hello, everybody. This is Wayne Schwartz, and I'm presenting my project. This is my project reflection for assignment uh, four for MIT 805. I'd just like to greet everybody half a day. That's our saying here on Guam, just to greet everybody. And this is my reflection, so I'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing is a synthesis of what I learned from assignment two. And what I learned, or what did I? Well, one of the first things that I learned from doing this assignment is that there are so many. I mean, there's a ton of learning tools to choose from. I know one of the assignments, I think it was the first assignment that we did, we had to do the top, out of the top 100, we choose 10 or 10 go-tos. But there are so many learning tools that I didn't even realize that are out there. So it's pretty cool that there are so many that you can choose from to help enhance learning or to provide meaningful learning to students. So that's one thing for sure that I learned by doing this assignment. It forced me to research blogs and articles to try to find some pros and cons of learning tools for, in my case, my question was to provide supplemental learning tools for algebra to supplement your material in algebra technology. Also, I learned the purpose behind learning tools. I think as an educator, we have to make sure that we know the purpose behind those learning tools. And that is for the students to provide meaningful learning in the classroom. The other thing I learned was you should always research constantly and then also reach out to people. By doing this group project, I was able to read some great or find out some great information from colleagues around the country here at this institution, and it's been really great. Even our Google Plus community is learning a lot about tech and learning, so it's really great. The benefits of certain tools and the cons, that's what I learned. I mean, there are some benefits to some tools and there's some cons to others. Depends on what you want, your goal is for your students in your classroom and your standards. And the other thing I learned is two heads are always better than one. And then again, this goes with, I guess, point number three, which you should always reach out to colleagues. So those are what I learned. Also, I learned that technology can help and assist students. That's the thing you want. You don't just do technology for the sake of it. You have to do it keeping in mind that it's for the students to assist students to learn. In my case, higher level mathematics, which in algebra too, and students struggle with it. So for me, I need to get that supplemental tech to help students stay engaged, help students visualize problems, to help students talk about problems, so that they can, and also even to get feedback. I think that's important too, to give and receive feedback. So these learning tools can do all that. It also helps with the visual and audio learners. It can help them process information through visuals such as graphs and problems being worked, etc. The other thing I learned is, again, there's so many tools that the educator has to make quite a few decisions. And sometimes in their district, sometimes there are suggestions of what to use. So you have to always keep that in mind. I know for Dodea, we have Schoology as one of our platforms, but some teachers use it, some don't. So it's interesting how the educator has to make good decisions in order to provide a meaningful learning environment. The other thing I'm learning too is that you can't trust everything. I mean, just because somebody says it's good doesn't mean that it is. I mean, I think it's a personal thing. It comes down to a personal level. That's why I'm really glad that the instructor, Mr. Fox, actually said that, going through blogs, other teacher blogs, data, articles, so that you can find out about these things and promote meaningful learning. The reason I say the tools got to be decent is because, like Plickers, I used to use Plickers, but I found out that with Plickers, it really helps the students get engaged, but there's a lot of work behind setting it up. And to me, that was the downside of it. You have to make your own question bank. You have to provide these cards for kids so that which was hard because they lose them or they mess them up. Uh, and so it was a lot more work. So you have to keep that. You have to take that into consideration when choosing supplemental material. I learned that. Takeaways. Some takeaways that I got was to remember that tech, any kind of learning tool, whether it's for supplemental material or research or whatever, it's all about fostering learning and keeping the students engaged. Um, you want a meaningful learning in your classroom. Learning tools supplement material that you're presenting. They're not the material alone. They supplement it. They add to the learning experience for the student, and they can also provide differentiated learning depending on what you're using, especially if you're project-based learning, or like we're doing now with online learning or distance learning at home with the COVID-19 thing. And that's what I'm finding out even with Google Classroom, differentiated learning. Students can kind of go at their own pace. Students can collaborate. That's a takeaway. Students, but also colleagues. Like I even collaborate with my administrator. I add him to my class, and we can provide feedback to one another privately. So it's pretty cool to get feedback. So that, to me, is extremely important. Two things that I'll take with me in my role from this experience. Number one, you know, again, I can't stress enough to keep students engaged with supplemental learning tools, technology. Always be willing to find new ways to supplement that technology. So I don't want to just say these are my go-tos and that's it. I'm always looking for new stuff to add to my repertoire so that students can have a meaningful experience. Because students, sometimes, oh, uh, we're going to use YouTube. Oh, we use YouTube all the time. So something to keep the students fresh, learning, and engaged. Two is collaborate more with colleagues in-house and from other places in the world. I think that's important in order to gain some insight and evaluate my practices. I think as an educator, we always have to evaluate ourselves with professional development and practices in order for us to get better at what we're doing. And again, we want students to be successful. I think if everybody is honest with themselves, then that's the goal. Technology is just a tool to help us to do that. And so using supplemental material in my classroom is something I need to do, um, especially with the Common Core math that we use New York Engage curriculum. So I'm always having to supplement material because it is challenging for some students. So I believe in that, and that's going to be my role, as well as research, continuous research from blogs, articles, websites to have to keep up with that a little bit more. So thanks. I want to thank everybody. My group mates were awesome. Couldn't ask for better group mates. They just did a tremendous job. Cole, Greg, and Nathan. Thanks. Great, wonderful people. Good job. Everyone did great, and appreciate everybody. And I thank everybody for all this. So thanks. It's Wayne Schwartz from signing off.